Hong Kong, 1971. Kowloon Railway Station. Rush hour. Thousands of commuters push through narrow corridors toward waiting trains. The air is thick with humidity and the smell of diesel fuel. Bruce Lee stands on platform 7 waiting for the 6:15 train to the new territories. He's wearing simple clothes, dark sunglasses, a newspaper tucked under his arm. He's trying to be invisible, trying to avoid recognition. It doesn't work. A young man spots him first, early 20s, muscular build. He whispers to his friends. They turn and stare. Lee notices. He always notices. He folds his newspaper and moves toward a less crowded section of the platform. The young man follows. His friends hang back, but they're watching. Lee stops walking, turns around, faces him directly. "Can I help you?" Lee's Cantonese is sharp, direct. The young man grins, cocky. "You're Bruce Lee, the movie star." It's not a question, it's a challenge wrapped in observation. Lee nods once. "I am." "And you are?" The young man doesn't answer. Instead, he asks, "Is it real, the fighting in your movies, or is it all fake?" The question hangs in the air. Commuters slow down, form a loose circle. This is entertainment now. Lee removes his sunglasses, folds them carefully, slips them into his shirt pocket. The techniques are real. The choreography is for film. "Why do you ask?" The young man steps closer. Too close, violating personal space deliberately. "Because I think it's fake. I think you're just an actor. I bet you couldn't beat me in a real fight." Lee doesn't react, doesn't step back, doesn't posture. He simply looks at the young man with complete calm. "You want to fight me? Here." On a train platform, the young man's grin widens. "I want to see if you're real or just Hollywood tricks." His friends laugh, encourage him. The crowd grows larger. Someone mentions calling security. No one does. Lee glances at his watch. His train arrives in 3 minutes. He looks back at the young man. "I don't fight to prove anything. Especially not to strangers who want to test their ego." He turns to walk away. The young man grabs his shoulder, spins him around. Big mistake. Lee doesn't pull away, doesn't escalate. He simply removes the hand from his shoulder using a basic Aikido release. Gentle but firm. "Don't touch me again." His voice is still calm, but something in his eyes has changed. The young man sees it, ignores it. Pride won't let him back down now, not in front of his friends, not in front of 50 witnesses. "You're scared," the young man says. "Scared to fight someone who isn't following your movie script." Lee takes a slow breath. He's dealt with this before. Challengers, drunk martial artists, people trying to make a name by fighting him. Usually he walks away. Usually they don't follow, but this one is different. This one won't stop. Lee can see it in his stance, in his eyes. This will escalate unless it's ended now. "I'll give you one chance," Lee says quietly. "Walk away, go home. Tell your friends you challenged Bruce Lee and I refused to fight. That's not cowardice, that's wisdom." Fighting proves nothing except who's willing to get hurt. The young man laughs. "I'm not going anywhere. Either fight me or admit you're fake." Lee sets down his newspaper on a nearby bench, removes his jacket, folds it neatly, places it on top of the newspaper. The crowd senses what's coming. They step back, form a wider circle. The young man assumes a fighting stance. Some kind of kung fu style, northern Shaolin maybe. His form is decent. He's had training. This isn't just a street thug. This is someone with actual skill trying to prove something. Lee doesn't take a stance. He stands naturally, weight centered, hands at his sides. He looks relaxed, almost bored. It infuriates the young man. He throws a fast front kick, testing range. Lee moves his hips slightly. The kick misses by inches. The young man follows with a punch combination. 3 strikes, fast, committed. Lee deflects them with minimal movement. Palm, forearm. Shoulder rotation. Nothing wasted. The crowd murmurs. They expected an exchange, a back and forth, but Lee isn't engaging. He's simply not being there. Every attack finds empty space. The young man gets frustrated, throws a wild spinning back fist. Lee ducks under it, steps to the outside, taps the young man's shoulder blade as he spins past. A message: you're open. You're vulnerable, you're outmatched. The young man resets, breathing harder now, adrenaline and pride pushing him forward. He charges, tries to close distance, use his size, get his hands on Lee. If he can grab him, maybe the weight advantage matters. Lee doesn't retreat. He moves forward, into the charge. It's unexpected, counterintuitive. The young man's momentum works against him. Lee redirects it with a simple pull, adds a foot sweep. The young man crashes to the concrete platform, hard. He gets up immediately, embarrassed, angry, charges again. This time Lee stops him with a straight punch, not to the face, to the solar plexus, pulled at the last instant, just enough force to halt the charge and knock the wind out. The young man doubles over, gasping. Lee steps back, gives him space to recover. Enough, Lee says. You're not ready for this, go home. The young man straightens up. Pride won't let him quit. He throws a desperate haymaker. Full power, no technique, just rage. Lee slips it, counters with a back fist to the temple. This time there's no pull, real contact, real force. The young man's legs buckle. He drops to one knee. Blood trickles from a cut above his eyebrow. The crowd goes silent. This is serious now. Someone could get arrested. Lee could get sued. His career could be damaged. But Lee isn't thinking about any of that. He's focused on the young man, making sure he's conscious, making sure he's okay. The young man tries to stand, stumbles. Lee catches him, holds him steady. Stay down, Lee says quietly. You fought well, but this ends now. The young man looks up at him. The arrogance is gone, replaced by something else. Confusion. Maybe respect. How did you? I couldn't touch you. Lee helps him sit against a support column. Because I've been doing this since I was 7 years old. You trained for what? 3 years, 5. You're skilled, but skill isn't the same as experience. The young man's friends finally approach. They help him up. One of them apologizes to Lee. Lee waves it off. Take care of his cut. Make sure he doesn't have a concussion. They nod, start to lead him away. The young man stops, turns back. I'm sorry, I was stupid. Everyone talks about you. I wanted to know if it was real. Lee picks up his jacket, shakes it out. It's real, but it's not what you think. Fighting isn't about proving you're tough. It's about understanding yourself. Understanding fear, controlling it. You came here today because you were afraid I was fake. That made you aggressive. That made you sloppy. The young man nods slowly. Could you teach me? The question catches Lee off guard. After everything that just happened, the young man wants to learn from him. Lee considers, I don't take many students. But I know people who do. Good people. If you're serious about